Hello, welcome to English Literature. My name's Karen Griffiths and I'm the Director of Strode. I'm also fortunate enough to teach English Literature. Ordinarily, we'd have welcomed you in person to the course. Sadly, this year we can't do that, so we've put together a short clip to try and address the points that we'd usually have chatted to you about. This clip will tell you a little bit about the course overall and will introduce the core text and summer assignment to you. If you have any questions, then my contact details can be found on the summer assignment. Don't hesitate to get in touch. So I thought I'd start with a few commonly asked questions. As you can see, the exam board that we follow is OCR. I'm going to tell you a little bit about their literary philosophy as part of my notes about the summer assignment. I've also included here a little bit of information about the typical class size. Please be reassured that by the time you join us, we'll have in place all recommended social distancing recommendations. I've also given you details about the amount of homework you can expect, where English literature might take you in the future, and how you'll be assessed. As you prepare for English literature, there will, I think, be two key things in your mind. What do I need and how can I prepare? I'm hoping to address these questions in the next few slides, but the most critical question on the lips of all English literature students is what will I read? As you can see, we have a varied and exciting range of texts for you to study. The texts listed here are just 2/3 of your final reading list, and the texts that you'll be assessed on in the exam. The final 3 texts are your coursework texts, and we negotiate these texts with you towards the end of your first year. I'm hoping that you recognise some, if not all, of the texts listed here. You may even have read a couple. You may not have heard of She Stoops to Conquer or The Bloody Chamber. These are the lesser known texts of the list, and I challenge you to do a bit of research on them in advance. There's no need for you to dash out and buy all of these texts immediately. I'll talk you through the texts that we'll tackle first. So, in addition to the texts, what else will you need? Literature is an essay subject. You will write a lot of essays as you prepare for the exams. In the exams themselves, you write 5 different kinds of essay, and we'll need to practice them all. So top of your shopping list should be several files and A4 paper. Keep in mind that you'll be carrying these files to and from college. Some students like to have an A4 working file that they carry with them, and then larger lever arch files at home in which they transfer their notes. It's going to be really important that you keep your notes tidy and well ordered, because it will be some time before you go back to them to revise for the final exams. Because we'll be reading several texts at a time, some file dividers would also be a good idea. Finally, you'll need your Term 1 texts. Twelfth Night, She Stoops to Conquer, and Christina Rossetti's anthology. We've loaded this on the website next to the summer assignment, but don't worry about printing it off. We'll have a copy for you in your first week. If you need any financial assistance with purchasing text or stationery, then please do contact Student Services, who have information about the student bursary. Finally, I wanted to spend a minute or two talking you through the summer assignment. OCR take what we call a new historicist approach to this course. You might like to do some research on this critical approach, but in short, it means that we study the text within their context. I mean by this that we study the biography of the writer, the period of time in which it was written, and the literary tradition in which it follows. You'll have done some of this at GCSE, so it won't come as too much of a shock. When we study the comedy Twelfth Night, it's useful to know what was going on for a Shakespeare audience in order to make them laugh. Similarly, we need to understand what created terror and fear in Mary Shelley's audience in order to understand why this book was so frightening at the time. The summer assignment asks you to look at the context of your examined writers. We've suggested that you tabulate this initial research and have given you a template. The second task of the assignment asks you to consider your research for one of these writers, the poet Christina Rossetti, and then to try and apply it. We'd like you to read and think about one of the poems in the anthology, and then tell us how you can see evidence of her context in this work. Your essay need only be about 500 to 800 words, so think carefully about what you're going to include. Finally, we've given you a few more research-based tasks to consider. These tasks are designed to help you start exploring the life and times of our writers and get you back into thinking about English literature. We know it's been a while. So that's it from me. I hope that I've answered any questions you may have had about literature, and I'm really sorry I can't meet you in person yet. Still, good things come to those who wait, and we're busy making the site safe and welcoming for you in the autumn. If you have any other questions about the course, please do get in touch. Have a wonderful summer and stay safe.